Have you ever wondered where your soul came from? Long before you were born, before you had a name, before you even existed in this body, something extraordinary happened. A moment so powerful, so beyond comprehension, that it set everything you have ever known into motion. This was the moment your soul came into existence. But why was it created? Where did it come from? And what happens when a soul is given a physical body? Souls are not random accidents. They do not simply appear from nothing. They are born from something far greater, emanations of the divine, fragments of an infinite presence that some call God, the Source, the Absolute, or universal consciousness. Before a soul exists, there is only a vast, undivided awareness, pure, boundless, limitless. But in order for creation to take form, for the universe to expand, and for new experiences to unfold, individuality must be born from unity. Imagine an ocean, vast and endless, stretching beyond sight, beyond time. It is whole, complete, and one with itself. But when it desires to experience itself in new ways, it releases tiny droplets from its vastness. Though each droplet still carries the essence of the ocean, it now exists as something separate, distinct, and individual. And just like that, your soul was born, a spark of the divine, a piece of infinite consciousness sent forth on a journey of discovery, growth, and transformation. But the creation of a soul is just the beginning. A newly formed soul is like an unshaped crystal, pure, raw, and filled with potential, yet without identity, knowledge, or experience. It is a blank slate, untouched by time, waiting to embark on its path. But how does a soul go from formless energy to a being of wisdom and individuality? That is where higher cosmic forces come into play. Some call them celestial architects, divine emanations, or angelic beings, sacred entities who guide and shape the soul, preparing it for its journey. These entities act as sculptors, refining the soul and imprinting it with an initial vibration, a unique energetic signature that defines its essence. This imprint is like a spiritual blueprint, determining the soul's natural tendencies, strengths, and inclinations. Some souls are imbued with the fire of creativity, others with the wisdom of the ages, while some are gifted with the power of leadership, compassion, or service. Once the soul receives its imprint, it must be placed within the right environment where it can begin its journey. The universe is not just one single reality. It is composed of countless dimensions, realms, and planes of existence, each designed for different stages of soul development. Some souls begin in high vibrational realms, where they exist in pure energy form, learning through harmony and light. Others are placed in denser realities, where they must experience struggle, challenge, and transformation to grow. But no soul walks alone. From the moment of its creation, it is assigned guides, beings of wisdom and light who oversee its journey, providing direction, protection, and encouragement. These guides do not control the soul's destiny, but they ensure it does not become lost before it has even begun to understand its existence. Yet, one of the most profound and challenging moments in a soul's existence is the first great separation from the source. In its purest form, a soul is still deeply connected to the divine and does not yet see itself as an individual being. But for it to truly grow, evolve, and experience life, it must awaken to its own identity. This transformation is not easy. Many spiritual traditions describe it as the first great pain, the moment the soul realizes that it is no longer fully merged with the infinite, no longer everything, but instead something. For the first time, the soul feels alone. It experiences the awareness of being separate, and in that moment, something profound happens. It whispers to itself, I am. This is the birth of self-awareness. It is the first moment the soul recognizes that it is not the source itself, but rather a fragment of it. And with this realization comes a powerful question. Who am I? And so, the journey begins. A soul is not just created with energy. It is also given a unique vibrational signature, a kind of spiritual DNA that shapes its early experiences. This vibration determines how the soul interacts with reality, the lessons it will be drawn to, and even the challenges it will face. Some souls are created with a naturally high frequency, resonating with love, wisdom, and harmony. Others begin with a lower frequency, aligned more with curiosity, ambition, and the need for growth through struggle. But neither is better nor worse. Each serves a purpose in the grand design of existence. Yet, a soul's vibrational frequency is not fixed. It is fluid, ever-changing, shaped by the choices it makes, the experiences it undergoes, and the paths it follows. A soul can raise its vibration through wisdom, love, and enlightenment. It can also lower it through fear, darkness, and imbalance. Every decision, every action, every lifetime contributes to the shaping of the soul's essence. A newly formed soul is like an empty book, waiting to be filled with the stories of its existence. It begins with no past, no karma, no attachments, only an insatiable curiosity about life. It seeks to explore, to experience, and to understand the nature of reality. But because it has never walked through the cycles of life and death, it is highly susceptible to influence. It does not yet understand the nature of good and evil, harmony and discord. It may be drawn toward forces that guide it toward enlightenment, or it may fall under the influence of energies that seek to control or manipulate. This is why the early stages of a soul's journey are so critical. They set the foundation for what the soul will become. As it experiences life, it begins to form memories, attachments, and lessons that shape its growth. Over time, it gains wisdom, and after many lifetimes, it may reach the point where it no longer needs to reincarnate. But no matter how ancient a soul becomes, every single one once began as a newly created spark, taking its first uncertain steps into the vast unknown. Before a soul fully awakens, it exists in a state of pure energy. It has no identity, no sense of time, no desires, and no experiences. It simply is. But it cannot remain in this state forever. To fulfill its purpose, it must become aware of itself. This moment is sometimes called the first descent, the point where the soul moves from formless existence into individuality. At first, it perceives itself as a separate point of awareness, sensing the vastness of existence around it. And then, an unfamiliar sensation arises, something that has never existed before. The soul realizes, I am something, and with that realization, the question follows, who am I? This question is the driving force behind the soul's journey. It seeks to understand itself, to discover its nature, and to explore its potential. But before it can do so, it must be assigned an initial vibrational frequency, a spiritual imprint that will shape its early experiences. Every soul is created with a unique energy, a frequency that determines its natural inclinations. Some are born with a high vibration, embodying love, wisdom, and harmony. Others start with a lower vibration, learning through challenge and transformation. But this signature is not permanent. As the soul evolves, it can shift its vibration, rising through enlightenment or descending through imbalance. And so, the soul embarks on its journey. It experiences life, love, pain, joy, and everything in between. It learns, it grows, it evolves, and one day, after countless lifetimes, it will return to the source, not as the unshaped spark it once was, but as a being of infinite wisdom, ready to reunite with the divine. You are on that journey right now. Your soul is not random. Your existence is not an accident. Every experience, every lesson, every challenge is shaping you into something greater. You are not separate from the source. You are a piece of it, longing to remember. A soul's journey is not bound by time or space. It begins with a vibration, a frequency that defines its initial state. Some souls start in a place of harmony, radiating light and peace, while others emerge in lower vibrations, burdened by struggle and uncertainty. But no vibration is permanent. Just as light can rise, it can also dim. Through the trials of existence, a soul may ascend to a higher state of consciousness, discovering wisdom and enlightenment. Yet, just as easily, it may fall, tempted by corruption, weighed down by darkness, and lost in the illusions of the material world. Before a soul can enter the physical realm, it must first pass through the realm of learning, a dimension of pure energy where young souls awaken to the fundamental laws of reality. It is here that they begin to understand their existence, forming their first thoughts and experiencing the essence of what it means to be. This realm is unlike anything found in the physical world. There is no pain, no suffering, only the endless wonder of discovery. Souls, still untouched by the weight of existence, are like newborns opening their eyes for the first time. In this sacred place, emotions are introduced. Joy, curiosity, awe, and even fear begin to surface. The soul, for the first time, learns what it means to feel. But it is not alone in this process. Advanced beings, guides, mentors, celestial teachers walk beside it, illuminating the path ahead. They do not dictate or force the soul to follow a specific path, but present choices, allowing it to decide its own fate. Through trial and error, the soul discovers what aligns with its essence and what does not. Every decision, every experience, shapes the journey to come. One of the most profound lessons in this realm is the understanding of free will. Souls come to realize that they are not mere observers, but active participants in their own destiny. Every action carries weight. Every thought has consequences. Some souls embrace this knowledge eagerly, hungering for wisdom and growth. Others struggle, hesitant to accept responsibility, lingering in uncertainty. But no matter how long it takes, every soul eventually reaches its first great crossroads, the moment where it must choose whether to remain in the higher realms or descend into the physical world. Not all souls are ready for this transition. Some resist, unable to separate from the source, clinging to the safety of the divine. Others, overwhelmed by the concept of individuality, fall into dormancy, entering a deep sleep that lasts for vast stretches of time. And some dissolve entirely, merging back into the source before their journey ever truly begins. This is not a failure, but a natural part of the cosmic cycle. Just as not every seed takes root and flourishes, not every soul is ready to awaken. But for those who are, the next step is the most profound of all, the choice to experience. The first challenge a soul faces when entering the material world is the veil of forgetfulness. In the higher realms, a soul is fully aware of its divine origin, its past experiences, and its purpose. But as it prepares to incarnate, this knowledge is veiled. It forgets everything: the vastness of existence, the lessons of the past, the presence of the source, all fade into oblivion. This forgetting is not a punishment, but a necessity. If a soul were to remember everything, it would struggle to engage fully in the experience of life. Imagine an actor stepping onto a stage, fully aware they are only performing. They cannot immerse themselves in the role, cannot truly feel the emotions of the character they play. The same is true for the soul. To learn, to grow, to transform, it must believe it is starting fresh. And so, for the first time, the soul feels truly alone. It does not remember where it came from or why it is here. A deep, aching longing takes root within it, a subconscious pull towards something greater, something beyond the physical world. This longing becomes the driving force behind its search for meaning, its hunger for understanding, and its quest for spiritual awakening. But before stepping into the material world, the soul must choose a form. This is no random process. The soul does not simply enter the first available body. Instead, it is drawn toward a vessel that aligns with its vibration and purpose. In its earliest incarnations, a soul often starts in a simple existence, an opportunity to gently learn the rhythms of the physical realm. Many esoteric traditions suggest that young souls may first experience life as elements: air, water, fire, earth, before transitioning into plant life, then simple creatures, and eventually evolving into more complex beings. Each stage teaches something vital. As a plant, the soul learns patience, stillness, and how to receive energy. As an animal, it begins to understand instinct, survival, and the raw force of emotion. And then, finally, the soul reaches the threshold of human life, a momentous step that grants it the power of conscious thought, morality, and self-reflection. The first human incarnation is both exhilarating and terrifying. For the first time, the soul experiences the weight of a physical body, the limitations, the needs, the vulnerabilities. It is no longer a free-floating being of energy and light. It is bound to flesh, dependent on food, water, and rest. Pain is no longer abstract. It is real, sharp, inescapable. Emotions, once subtle waves, become tidal forces, crashing through the soul with intensity. Fear, desire, love, grief. But the most profound challenge of all is separation. In the spiritual realm, connection is effortless. Souls communicate through energy, instantly sharing thoughts and feelings in a perfect exchange of understanding. But in the physical world, this connection is severed. Words become clumsy tools, often misunderstood. Relationships become a labyrinth of longing, conflict, and miscommunication. The soul, once used to the unity of the higher realms, now feels isolated, lost, yearning for something it cannot quite name. Many souls struggle with this new existence. They feel trapped in their bodies, burdened by the chaos of the material world. They do not yet remember that these hardships are not punishments, but lessons. Each struggle is a teacher. Every wound, every moment of despair is an opportunity for growth, for strength, for wisdom. In this first life, the soul operates on instinct. It does not yet understand higher spiritual truth. It is driven by survival, by desire, by emotion. But even in its most primitive state, every decision carries weight. Every choice guards a path forward. Some souls become lost in the illusions of the physical world, consumed by greed, fear, or attachment. Others, even in their earliest lives, begin to glimpse the truth that there is more to existence than what the eyes can see. With each incarnation, the soul learns. It stumbles. It rises. It remembers. Over countless lifetimes, it pieces together the fragments of forgotten wisdom, slowly awakening to its divine nature. And one day, after endless journeys through love and loss, joy and sorrow, darkness and light, it finally understands. It was never lost. It was never alone. It was always on its way home. This knowledge is meant to be shared. There are many souls still searching, still lost in the veil of forgetfulness. If this message has reached you, perhaps it is time to awaken. Perhaps it is time to remember.